Hey, FlimsyLunchTray here, and welcome to World of Warships. Today we find ourselves on Mountain Range in Domination mode, and I'm going to be in the Tier 9 British tech tree destroyer, the Jutland. So not too long ago, I featured the Lightning, and we did an upgrade and commander build, and today I'm going to feature the Jutland, and tomorrow we'll have an upgrade and commander build for the Jutland. As you can tell, for those of you who caught that Lightning video, it's the same captain. I've just moved him up to Jutland, but we'll look at some different possible options of builds-wise depending on your taste of what you like to do with British destroyers, or if you're new to the tech tree line of the British destroyers, you'll just know some things that you can utilize well, depending on what direction you want to move forward with. One of the things that's actually rather interesting to me about the Jutland that I didn't know until I researched and purchased the Jutland is her turret setup. So she has 2 double turrets in the front, but her third turret, it's not on the stern. It's like in the superstructure. It's in the midsection of the ship, and it's not a double turret or double gun turret. It's just one gun in the turret. So that was a little strange for me to see that and then like start using it in battle. So yeah, it's not the typical setup where you have one of the turrets just on the rear, and not only that, it's a single gun turret. It's not a double gun turret. So Mountain Range has always been kind of an interesting map for me as a player, especially when it comes to destroyers and cruisers, nonetheless. But what I like about this side of the map and this cap is being able to utilize the island here. So you're going to see me abuse this island a lot in this battle here in the Jutland. Like, I'm going to use it probably the most in my entire engagement here at the cap. And it's a really good island to utilize as a destroyer player. And I say that, and it depends on the type of destroyer you are. What I do in this battle, I couldn't do what I'm gonna do in a lot of other destroyers. If I knew how this battle was gonna turn out, I'd be like, yes, give me the British destroyer. I want a British destroyer. Give me the Jutland. I mean, daring would be nice too, but I don't have the daring yet. But give me the British destroyer, because that's what's actually going to help me win with this type of situation I'm going to end up facing here. So you can see my teammates are a bit staggered back behind on the GH line. Yeah. And I'm kind of playing around this cap. We've got a Venom in the cap. With my Hydro-Acoustic search up, that should help kind of zone him out from getting a lot of torpedoes, because he can throw up 16 torpedoes, 8 from each side, in a relatively short amount of time. So my Hydro-Acoustic being here should help kind of negate my friendlies taking damage behind me. So I'm screening for them, not only just to prevent the Venom from pushing, but also his torpedoes. So there's 2 sets of 2, because the Venom only has 2 avenues to launch torpedoes down towards my friendlies. So I'm sitting in front of one, and then just to the left of this island is the other avenue. So we also have a Missouri across the opposite side of the cap, so we got to be conscious of the radar. I'm spacing right now what the radar distance is, but I think it's either 9 or 9.5. Yeah, I can't quite remember right now. It's hard to keep all the details and all the radar ranges correct in your head as more and more ships get introduced into the game, and more of those ships having radar, as Wargaming likes to slap more gimmicks on certain ships as a selling point. So we also have a New Orleans, which I'm keeping lit. He's trying to hide behind that island, but I'm making him feel uncomfortable right now that I have him detected. I'm sitting on the cap. The Venom is still back behind that island. And sitting on the cap, I'm preventing the enemy team from getting any points. So our points intake for our team and the enemy team is even right now, between us having A, enemy team having B. We also have an Alsace over here, and we have the Haarlem, one of the newer Dutch cruisers. So I'm just kind of getting a feel for what's going on right now. Seems like it looks like the Venom may have just stepped off the cap there. I'm trying to see if I can maybe get a torpedo angle over here on the Alsace, but with just the island, I'm not going to be able to. So I decided that I'm just going to zone out the Harlem. He's turning away anyhow, but I want to keep him out and away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to circle back around, back towards the island. We have a friendly battleship who has decided to push forward. Don't ask me why, because that is a really bad decision. He's pushing into 6 enemy ships, including a Benham. And the Benham just decided to smoke up, so he's probably backing out, going to dump torpedoes on our friendly, was it Iowa here? So I'm bringing my Hydro-Acoustic search back over, maybe help pick up. But yeah, there's the first set of torpedoes, and the Missouri gets his broadside. So that was a total misplay by our Iowa player. I don't know why he did what he did, but now that's going to it's going to cause our teammates to kind of turn and run away. You can see the Missouri has just popped his radar, and that's actually, I wanted to sit by the island, but I knew he was coming in and his radar should be coming up. So I'm looking, what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to keep this island between me and him, and also the islands to my left. I'm keeping them between me and several other enemy ships over there. So, and being in this position, I'm actually rather safe and secure. So that is the importance of trying to utilize islands, not just like, oh my gosh, I'm radared, I need high tail. It's like, no, look to see what you can put between yourself and the enemy team. And that will really help you, especially in situations with radar. What you can be really screwed is like a cap like A, you have no islands in that, or even Bravo, and you get popped and lit by a radar you're not expecting, that can be really disastrous. And I'm speaking from experience because I messed up really bad last night on the map Two Brothers when I stepped onto one of the caps. I was really worried about where Alaska was, but I still stepped onto the cap. Alaska lit me up with radar, and the whole enemy team on that flank just dumpstered me, and I died really quick. It was just really bad. So even though sometimes it looks like I know what I'm doing, I am a good player. I totally still make mistakes. So definitely not a perfect player. So that was a bad mess up. Now I'm single launching these torpedoes. I'm zoomed in because of the new torpedo bug that you need to be zoomed in. Otherwise I just would have launched those without being zoomed in. Towards the Missouri, I've got them in a tighter spread than if I fired them in the fanned out spread where you like fire 5. Because I know it's going to at least take 3, maybe 4 torpedoes to kill him, and he's still reversing. Even if he decides to stop and accelerate, I'll still catch him with a couple torpedoes. So we're going to see what happens here. Now the Benham detected me, since I had moved up. My Hydro-Acoustic search just came off cooldown. So I'm able to use that, know that there's going to be torpedoes likely on the way. So I was already reversing, I think, before those even being detected. And eliminating this Missouri, hopefully. 3 torpedoes hits and a flood. Eliminating this Missouri is huge because now we don't have to worry about a radar on our flank. The Harlem has pulled out, so now I got to start reversing. And then that's when the Benham is in front of me. So I get the islands. The island takes half the hit from salvo from the enemy Harlem, and I switch focus fire to the Benham. I'm looking to try to keep the island between me and the enemy players to my right. And with my short duration or short action time and quick reload time of the smoke generator consumable, I'm able to pop it back up, get the Benham, but he's probably got torpedoes in the way. It looks like he got 1 rack off. And we're fine. So now I'm just going to ease up, and we're going to look to step back onto the cap if I do that here. Yeah, here we go. So now we're preventing the enemy team from getting points. We have a teammate flipping Bravo. We have a really good secured A, well, it seems for the time being. So we're just stopping them taking any points intake right now. Now with the New Orleans, I actually back away a little bit because New Orleans can be equipped with Hydro-Acoustic search. So I'm going to call him out as a hot target for our team to shoot. I'm asking for the BBs behind me to light him up because he needs to go if I'm going to be able to continue, being aggressive here at this cap. So what I really like about the Jutland, what I like about the British destroyers is they're really good at being being played as a defensive style destroyer. You've got the short action time smoke screens with a quick reload time. So even though your smoke screen lasts less than a minute, it's going to be back up relatively quickly. So you can continue to pick and choose engagements against enemy destroyers. You've got your Hydro-Acoustic search that can detect enemy ships, I think, up to 3 kilometers away. At least that's what I believe is on the Jutland. And pick up torpedoes. Distance away, 2, I think maybe it's 2.5, 2. I can't quite remember. We can look at that tomorrow. And you're just really on top of that, you also have the heal. So I can take a little bit of ship damage from knife fighting with enemy destroyer players and heal back some of that damage that I take. What I really like as a destroyer player is when I'm able to try to keep over most of my health for the first half or so of the battle. And then as the battle rages on, I have more of that health pool to be able to utilize and dispense later on. So our smoke screen's about to dissipate here. I'm getting closer to the island if the Alsace or maybe the Nagato decide to fire at me. The Nagato's looking a different direction. Alsace is distracted. I'm just a little pesky destroyer. I'm shooting him. So I'm going to just stay out here in the open. There's no need for me to rush behind the island. He's not paying attention to me. And we might be able to get the killing blow in on him here. Yes. So we basically utilize this island here in being able to hold our position, be aggressive at this cap, and playing kind of a stand your ground. Like if you want me gone, you have to come kill me, or you're gonna have to push me away with the radar. So that was a strength when you're a destroyer utilizing the island like that, because if a battleship cruiser wants to push on you, it's like most destroyers in the game, like you have torpedoes, and Jutland has torpedoes. So it's a really good hybrid destroyer, but it plays the role really well of being like just playing defensively, but also choosing and picking when you want to engage the enemy, because you're almost like, to me, when I was thinking about it, it's almost like, I feel like almost like an assassin destroyer. It's as a hybrid destroyer. I mean, the torpedo line of the Japanese nation, like the Shimakaze line, most of the time you're not detected. You're doing most of your work undetected. But what I like about the Jutland, the British destroyers with the Hydro-Acoustic search and stuff, and the quick reloading time of the smoke screen, it's like you kind of come out of the shadows, you make your attack, and then you retreat back into the shadows basically whenever you like. And I think that's really a great strength with the British HE, and also really decent AP. And I would say I might almost like, let's see when I get to the daring. But I think I might like the British destroyer line more than the American destroyer line. And that's saying, I think, a lot for me as a player, because I really dig gearing. But I'm grinding up several other destroyer lines right now. And I have just been really enjoying the British destroyer line. I first became really attracted to it after purchasing the Tier 8 premium British destroyer, the Cossack. And I have a really good time in Cossack, even though Cossack has a crappy AA. But we can talk about comparisons on that later. But I've just been really enjoying the British destroyer line, so we'll see if I still feel, once I get to daring, if I think I end up actually liking something like daring more than the gearing, because they play different roles, and for my play style, I feel like I fit better in with the British destroyers. But enough talking about my preferences, talk a little bit more about the battle. You can see it's basically wrapping up. Both the battleships are just running, so there's really not more to add on with the battle commentary here. But just to show you off the strength of Jutland, that when you especially when you have an island like we had at Sea Cap, you can play like stand your ground style. Just because there might be a radar around and there's more enemy ships closer to you. Like I was probably, if I wasn't a confident destroyer player, I don't think I couldn't have done what I did there at sea, because I think I would have just kind of ran back, scooted back towards the big island at, what, G8? And just kind of tried to fight behind that. But I'm able to do a lot in that position with the British destroyer like Jutland that I couldn't do in something like Gearing, Shimakaze, so on and so forth. So I hope this just kind of shows off to me what really encapsulates the British destroyer tech line, especially at the high tier, being here now at the tier 9 Jutland. So we were taking a lot of flags. So we got 21,457 experience, 14,509 free XP, did over 89,000 damage, got a couple torpedo hits, 3 destroyed, 6 set on fires, a couple floods, a couple of defended ribbons, in addition to a solo cap there at sea. So basically being greedy and saying, I want this cap. We're going to top the team with 1,912 base experience. So pretty good. So it's awesome. I think we had a really good destroyer team. I mean, just looking out to seeing the Skan and the Z46 also topping the team. So that's a match with really good destroyer players. So that's really good. So you can see most of the damage, of course, was to the Missouri, and then took this one probably under about half the health of the Benham, and then polishing off the Alsace there at the end, just with HE shells and fires. And then you can kind of see here with the premium count what it looks like with my modifiers, Commander XP and stuff, and how I was able to earn so much in that battle. So I hope this showcases more to you what the Jutland looks like. I am going to be doing a video soon. I'm going to break it up into different parts. Some of you have asked me like, hey Flimsy, can you do, I'm a newer player to the game, can you recommend what tech tree lines I should go up first? What nations? What destroyer line would you recommend going up first? And like, I'll just throw it out now. I would recommend the American destroyer line first, and there's reasons for that, and I'll circle back to that in a future video. But we're gonna examine, look at the different tech tree lines. Destroyers. We'll have a video just for destroyers, then a video for cruisers, video for battleships. Can't speak a lot on aircraft carriers because I don't play them a lot. Yeah, so we'll circle back to that soon. But for now, this is the Jutland. So I hope it really showcases more to you utilizing the strengths of Jutland in this type of battle scenario. So if you liked today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Subscribe if you do want to see more. And if you're subscribed, thanks so much, as we're just about to break 400 subscribers, which is really awesome. And again, we will be having a upgrade in commander build video for the Jutland in tomorrow's video, Saturday. If maybe someone's watching this later on, just go to my YouTube channel, go to the playlist, and you'll see upgrade and commander build playlist. So until next time, take care.